So last night I played against this really cool deck, Niko, Light of the Hope. It had this really sweet ability. When Niko enters, create 2 shard tokens. They are enchantments with pay 2, sacrifice this token, scry 1, then draw a card. But the more relevant ability is that you could pay 2 mana, tap, exile, target non-legendary creature you control. Then shards you control become copies of it until the next end step. Then you return it to the battlefield under its control at the beginning of the next end step. And that's a very unique ability. This card is from what, Bloomburrow or Duskmourn. So I hadn't seen this in action before. Other people may have seen this build before, but this was a really cool card because basically what it could do is the deck's set up to just basically flicker Niko a bunch of times, and so Teferi, Cloud Shift, Ephemerate, Essence Flux, things like that. And so it basically just bounced Niko and created a ton of different shard tokens, and then eventually made either a bunch of Phyrexian Dreadnought copies or Skyhunter Strike Force. And so with Phyrexian Dreadnought, basically these shard tokens would stick around for a turn, and then they would not receive the ETB effect. So the Phyrexian Dreadnought would come in with the ETB on the stack. They could make the shards a copy of it, so he would have a bunch of 12/12s, and then the Phyrexian Dreadnought would have its ETB disappear, and then they would be able to attack with the Phyrexian Dreadnought, or they would be able to basically have a Skyhunter Strike Force, and they would be able to they have the melee ability, and this creature, as long as you control, has Lieutenant, as long as you control your commander, other creatures you control have melee. So it gives all of your creatures melee. And so basically, if you have 15 different shards that all have melee, and they all see each other having melee, some crazy math occurs, and you kill the entire table. So it was a very unique strategy that I hadn't seen. It was actually pretty quick. I think they killed us on turn 7. So it was able to establish a board state and go in for the win pretty quickly. And totally unexpected. It was relatively unassuming, and it still performed its strategy, executed its strategy pretty well. So definitely a deck to look out for if you like Azorius style decks and want to win through combat damage. I would definitely give this one a look.